Hello, welcome to the channel. This is Sightless Living. My name is Anita. Today I am preparing a chicken for tomorrow's grilling.
Big bold text appears and reads, Sightless Living. Copyright symbol 2021-2024. Sightless Living. All rights reserved. Then disappears.
This chicken is about 6 pounds. First I am going to oil them. So I got 2 tablespoons of olive oil right here. I am wearing food grade gloves and rubbing the bird with oil. I'm just dipping my hands in the bowl. And if you've seen my Cooking with Adapted products, I showed you the pourers that I used. This was a 2 tablespoon pourer. I don't care about the bowl getting all mucky. I can smell the olives. And I'm just rubbing, trying to get all that oil out.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share.
I'm rubbing the bird so the seasonings and spices stick to it. And I'm going to spatchcock them, which is I'm going to cut them down the back and remove the backbone. Some people remove the backbone. I am not going to do that in this case. I don't need the backbone to make chicken stock, so I will just cut it down the right side and leave it in place. I will still be able to lay my chicken flat. So I am just rubbing them down. This way the olive oil will help the seasonings to stick. What I'm going to do is flip them over. I'm feeling up inside there. This is his back. I think this is the back. Yeah, I feel the spine. Okay. So I'm going to take the scissor and cut him down the spine. Down the right side and leave it in place to open him up. And then I'm going to season him. But while my hands are inside there, I'm putting oil in there as well, because they're all over my gloves. And I got oil all up in there. Let me tell you this. When you take the bird out, in his insides, they usually stuff the neck. Here's the neck. I think it's a gizzard, a heart, liver, whatever. And a lot of people throw this out. I just put it here. I'm not using this stuff. But I just put it here for you to see it. And a lot of people like to brown that and then they make gravy out of it. This bird is going to be grilled. I'm going to take the scissor, cut them open, spatchcock them. And I will show you that as soon as I find the scissor. So here's the scissor. I'm not worried about getting chicken everywhere because this will be sanitized thoroughly. We're very good about sanitizing around here. So I got the scissor. This scissor comes apart. It's kitchen shears. And let's see, I'm going to cut up the side of it. Usually I use a knife too. So I'm just cutting like I'm cutting a project. And there he goes. Let's just keep cutting. I should have my apron on, but there's nothing splashing. I'll just cut them open. And Mr. Chef will clean up anything I missed. I'm just prepping the bird. Let's see, where's my oil? I'll stick it here. When he cooks, I'm the sous chef. When I cook, he's the sous chef. So I'm taking the wing and I'm folding it, trying to fold it under. Maybe I should have done this before I did the olive oil. This bird is a fighter. Get under there. Nope, it doesn't want to fold under. Okay, we won't worry about that. Get some oil up in there because my gloves are very oily. That's okay. It will still cook same way. Okay, so now I'm going to change my gloves, clean up the table a little bit so I can use the seasonings. Took a while to measure them out and they all got thrown in the bowl. And then I'll show you what I used and how much. So let me get cleaned up here. I'm still rubbing the bird with oil and getting all up under his skin because I'm going to put seasoning up in there too. I hate when you season just the outside and then when you get to the meat, it's not seasoned because they concentrated on putting it all over the skin instead of on the meat. And then I will also do the back. See, he's very flimsy because I cut him open. He opens like a book. See? Hello. Let me get cleaned up here and I'll be back. To fill my measuring spoons with seasonings and spices, I take the leveler, which came with the spoon set, and I put that in the jars. It fits in most openings. So I scoop out the seasonings or spices on the leveler, and then I tilt the leveler into the measuring spoon until the seasonings fall off. I keep doing this until I fill the spoon. Then I could either scrape off the spoon to level it, or just leave it where it's not completely full. And I put it in my bowl of seasonings. After a while, I'll have all my seasonings mixed by putting them into the same bowl. I take the leveler, mix it around, and that's how I do my seasonings for my meats. I'm back. Here's my bird in front of me. Here are the seasonings and spices. So I got about 5 spices in here and 1 seasoning. I got my little Braille measuring spoon. It's a tablespoon. So I'm gonna just start sprinkling. Smells good. Oops, I hit the bird. That's okay, because that's all I'm using this for. You know what, I like using my fingers. So I'll just stick it on my nice sanitized table. And if you hear noise, like a plastic bag, that's my gloves, my food grade gloves. So I'm just gonna start just giving a little pinch. I smell smoked paprika, onion powder I can smell. Okay, the wings, I'm gonna leave them stretched out. So I'm gonna just touch them up with the seasoning here. And then he's gonna sit covered in the fridge. He or she, I don't know what it is, this bird. But they'll sit in there covered up until tomorrow. And then we'll take him out a little bit before it's time for him to go on the grill. And he'll be there until he's nice and brown and 165 internal temperature. Come on, flip over, birdie. Okay, goes this way. Let's see. I'm just flipping him over. All right, he's gonna lay flat on the grill like that. So let me get some more. I'm also gonna get it up under the skin. And I turn them around because I don't want to rip his skin off. Let's see. Do I have any opening down here? Yep. So I get some under there. Ooh. Cavity runs deep, so I'll just get it in there. And I'm just taking the seasoning that's all mixed up and just putting it all over the bird. Legs, wings, breast, back. And then he'll soak in very nicely because I can smell him already. He smells good. Now I'm just patting him. Since I'm blind, now I gotta use certain gadgets to try to get the seasonings out. We buy the big containers. So if you have the same issue I have, you want to take a spoon that can fit into the jar and spoon it into your measuring spoon. We didn't put any pepper on them and no salt because the seasoning has salt. And in this way your guests can just season to taste. You're getting it all up under the skin, and the skin's gonna get nice and crispy. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my bowl, what's left of it, and bang it on the bottom, and I have it on the burn. So I'm messing up the table again, only to sanitize it. And that's what happens when you cook. You're constantly in the water. So there we go. So I will show you my seasonings after I sanitize again. I'll show you what we used here. Right, Mr. Bird? We flip them over again and make sure. Yeah, he smells great. But I'm gonna leave him on his backside that's open. That's how I'm gonna leave him in the fridge. And I'll leave him like this. I'll leave him like this, wings stretched out and legs stretched out. And then I think the chef will use avocado oil to cook him because that's high heat. I used olive oil just to have it soak in. You could use avocado too, but I like the taste of olive oil. Just make sure I got every little bit. These seasonings are expensive. So I'm just rubbing every little bit out. And then I'll be right back and show you what I used here. And keep in mind, you can use your own ingredients. If you don't want to use what I used, you don't have to. This is just a typical spatchcock bird, which is you cut them down the middle from the back and then you spread them open like a book and you just cook them. He smells good. He's sticky, so I know I got the seasonings on him. I'll get sighted assistants and see if they like the way it looks. And I'll be back. I'm back all cleaned up and I'll tell you what I used. I'll start with my perfect pour measuring spoons. I have a 1 tablespoon here in my right hand and I have the scraper in my left hand, and I just get the seasonings in there or spices and I level it off. I'll start to my right over here. I have some turmeric and I have some, let me see, sometimes I have to smell them, cumin. So I use a little bit, I would say half of a tablespoon. And then here I used, let's see, this is smoked paprika, and that smells like barbecue potato chips if you never smelled it. And then this one, the jar says garlic, but it's granulated garlic. My spouse keeps the little ones refilled for me, even though, like, I think this says Aldi and it's McCormick. But anyway, they would love that, wouldn't they? And then this is onion powder. This is Weber, and this is savory seasoning. When I discovered this years ago, I loved it, and it has a nice flavor. It does the meat justice, and I really like it. Everybody likes it, so I make sure we have this on hand. And this comes in original and savory. And sometimes I have to go far to get this. That's what I use. Now these, I did use a tablespoon to the top, scraped off where I leveled it off. That's what we have there. So it's only 5 spices and 1 seasoning. Remember in my choosing seasonings, spices, and cooking oils, I mentioned that when you have one ingredient, it's a spice. When you have several, which this is a blend, it's a seasoning. So that's what we have there. The bird's in the refrigerator, taking a chill, and then we'll meet you at the grill. Chicken's on the grill, breast side up, and we are not flipping it. The grill's up to temperature. It's 375 degrees. The spatchcock chicken is laying across it. Once it cooks a little, we will lift up the cover and show you the chicken. We had to wait for the sun to go down because it was just too blaring, shining right on the grill. And sometimes that can bother the temperature of your food because it can make the grill hotter than what you want. Here's the story. As you can probably hear or see, it's raining. Last night's barbecue was a disaster with the spatchcock chicken. The chicken was fine, it cooked very well, but I could hear them puckering around up there. The bugs are in full force. I have on bug repellent and they don't care. They're landing on me anyway. Gross. It was like a wall of bugs everywhere you went. If you stuck your hands out straight and brought it back to you, you'll have like a million moths just sitting on your arm like you're a tree branch. It was disgusting. But we didn't get any bugs in the grill or on the food. So I'm going to explain because I didn't have a chance to do so last night. When we cooked the chicken, since it was a 6-pound bird, you cut it open, to spatchcock it, it's spread across the grill. We do 2-zone cooking. Some people don't know what 2-zone cooking is, so I'll try to explain. You just take the circumference of the grill, you cut it in half. Then on one side, you have all your charcoal. On the other side, no charcoal. So the one with your charcoal is a heated side, and the one with no charcoal is unheated. Since the bird was very large, we had the charcoal aligned from each side going around the back. So it was like a semicircle. In the front where we were working with the spatulas and tongs and things like that, you don't want to have charcoal because you don't want to be burning your arms as you're reaching over to get to your food. I've been to many barbecues where people have made that mistake, where they do the entire circle of the grill and then they're reaching over hot coals, which makes no sense because you can get burned, you can catch your clothes on fire. So don't do that. Generally, we'll have it on one side and cool on the other side. But if the food is too large, then we would circle it like a semicircle and put the food in the middle with no charcoal and then let it cook that way. So that was one thing I wanted to mention. Another thing, we did not flip our bird. Some people flip them. We never flip ours. When we do spatchcock, we just leave it laying flat. It cooks evenly. In my opinion, I don't see any reason to flip it at all. You could take the backbone out or you could leave it in. I don't see any difference. You take it out, it still lays flat. I didn't bother pressing down on the breast to break the bones because it can stick up a little with the breast up. It still cooks fine for me. Some people want it exactly extremely flat and they'll just be breaking and busting up the bones. I don't do that. I don't want my guests eating a chicken and have to worry about bones or have kids choking on them because they break up very small. That's another reason why some people probably remove the backbone. But if you're not picking the meat off of it or doing anything like that or serving it, there's no need. So I just leave it there, cut the chicken, after it's extremely washed good. But after you season it and stuff, that's it. Because with the spatchcock, you cut it, you season it, you put it on the grill. That's it. Now, some people have done it in the oven. Some people have done smaller birds in the fry pan. So the grill is not the only way, but I think it's the best tasting way. The bird came out very tender, the breast and legs and thighs, and you get all the regular rib meat. Everything just comes out tender. So that's why I like cooking spatchcock chicken. It also cuts the time in half. When you cook a big bird, like 6 pounds, that could take hours in the oven. You throw it on the grill, you're under an hour. The bird took about 55 minutes in total. My spouse cooked him on the unheated side for about 40 minutes. He tested it. Then he threw it on the heated side so it would just crisp up, and it came out amazing. So I wanted to point that out since I didn't get a chance with the bugs. And I kept smacking the bugs, and there was a bug that was really as big as my hand. I thought it was a bat. My spouse said it's a moth. But his wings were so hard, he was like cardboard. I just hit something. That was big. Was that a bat or was it a moth that big? I smacked his wing. Was that a bat? What is that? We should have brought the bug zapper out, but we didn't do that. We had 5 torches out here. You put the torch fuel in the bowl and you light the wick, and it's supposed to keep the bugs away. It comes in a citronella form, and other brands make it. We had gotten a bargain. It was on sale, and it had a smoke point. So you would put the fuel in your torch, light it, and then it would make this black smoke. And it smelled fragrant like it had citronella, but the bugs couldn't stand it. We didn't have any bugs. Nobody got mosquito bites. It was great. And we ran out, so we started using the regular citronella, and that's why we had so many bugs last night. I think they like that stuff. They just come around, and I was wearing deep. They were just landed on me like I was wearing perfume. They didn't care. The camera is pointing at the torch. We're trying a citronella that doesn't have the smoke point. And it's awful because the bugs are out in full force. But when you have that smoky one, they don't even come around. So I just wanted to pass that on to anyone who uses torches while barbecuing and entertaining in your yard. You may want to try the citronella with the smoke point. And those can be found at any Home and Garden, Walmart, whoever sells the fuel for your torches, you should be able to find that. That's why it became a mess, because I didn't want to be fooling around trying to film, and we end up with moths and things landing in the grill and burning to death. So we're like, forget it. Guess if a bear don't come and knock your grill over so you can eat the food. The temperature is at 350 degrees. We are going to take a look at the chicken. Voila! Spatchcock chicken. We are showing the spatchcock chicken lying on the grates. It's just about ready. And I can't wait because I'm tired of these bugs. This is the trade-off. In the daytime, the sun is very hot and glaring, and at night, you got the bug.
Not there yet.
Okay, it's not there yet, so we'll put the cap back on the grill.
We're gonna taste it.
Boy, it's really raining out here. And this is what you get in the country. You get animals. Now we have to worry about the bears and mountain lions that could smell the grill and approach us. You got to be on your P's and Q's when you're barbecuing at night. We never used to think about that until we saw one. And they're brazen. They'll come right up to you like they're a pet, and they are not a pet. And we have fox and coyotes. which are coyotes. We had a bunny that used to appear in all the videos. He was recently killed. Something bit him and he died on the lawn, so we had to bury him. Bugs. Here you're looking at the spatchcock chicken. We really couldn't film much since the bugs were a nuisance, but they didn't get on the food or in the grill, so that's a plus. It came out nice and brown. Everything was tender. It was delicious. A piece fell off. I took it and ate it. It was so good. It was seasoned to perfection. It was just awesome. The legs were tender. The breast meat was tender. The wings were tender, even though they were spread out because they wouldn't fold under. It was just great. Everybody enjoyed the meal, and the bird was devoured with just a little bit left over for sandwiches. It had a little oil and seasonings, and that's what he basted it with. So it came out fantastic. Now we'll clean up the grill so we can make lunch. Make sure you're subscribed so you will be notified for future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.
Rolling credits appear in big bold white text scrolling upward from the bottom of the screen. Text reads, Anita, hostess/visionary, mountain stream video, TM symbol, videographer/editor. The rest of the text may be read in the description box below. Thanks for watching.